Okay then, g'day legends, it is Jai, that Aussie metal guy here with Crannk.com. So today, tonight, wherever you are in the world, it's a great pleasure that I'm beyond stoked to be joined by two of the most innovative and boundary smashing musicians of this era. On guitar, we've got Bernth, Austrian shred maestro, solo artist, and viral virtuoso, not to be outdone. On bass, it's the incredible Charles Berthoud, whose technique, tone, and fearless creativity have helped reshape what the bass guitar can do. Together, they're heading to Australia this October and November for the Escape the Internet tour, a once in a lifetime live experience full of jaw dropping performances, and will make you question if you even know how to play guitar or bass. Charles Bernth, thank you so much for joining me, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
That
you.
was an epic intro. Loved it.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm the king of the fucking intros down here. Let's kick it off. Escape the Internet feels like more than just a tour. I'm be loving the footage that I've seen of you guys playing overseas at the moment. What sparked the idea originally for this collaboration online, from online to stage? I know you guys have been working together for a little bit doing music here and there, but tell me a little bit about what initially sparked the idea of this collaboration for Escape the Internet.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So Bernth did the first time I ever saw Bernth really was actually when he challenged me to a battle, which was interesting. I just found this video online which said my problem with Charles Berthoud, and it was Bernth, and I was wondering what on earth is going on. And it turned out that he had made a video where he made his guitar sound like a bass because he secretly wants to be a bassist. And
No.
so he used like a pitch shift plugin to make it sound low and bassy. And a lot of people in the comments said like, "Oh my God, you got to challenge Charles." Or I don't know if they said challenge or collab with him, but Burnt definitely wanted to fight me. So it was a challenge for a battle. And so we did that. We did a bass versus guitar battle, which, bass obviously won. And so then after that, we decided to do some more and actually do collabs instead of battles. And those went great. We were still just collabing virtually though, but people enjoyed the music, which was great. And then we finally actually met in person probably 2 years after, I would say, our first battle. We played on Reunion Island, which I'd never heard of before. I thought it was a scam at first, actually. I thought it was going to be like Fire Festival. Uh, but luckily it was real. I looked it up. It's a real place. It's a French island by Madagascar. Tropical island, actually an amazing way to play live with Burnt for the first time. And then finally we decided to book a full tour since those shows went well. And yeah, that's what sparked the idea. But we call it Escape the Internet because there's a little bit of this idea that if you're a famous online musician that you can't play live, and we want to kind of dispel that myth, and also kind of like encourage other online musicians to get out into the real world, and because there's a lot of fun to be had, and it's great to connect with the fans in real life for a change rather than just behind a screen and through comments and stuff like that.
Oh, most definitely. And you guys have a massive, massive global fan base, as you touched on through your online work. Use of, some of the words Birds have said, turn music lovers into musicians all over the bloody world. What's it like for you guys to have that connection, not only through the internet, but now through all the live connections that you're making with this tour as well?
It's definitely great to get some real, not only real time, but also real life kind of feedback on what you're playing. Because when you do this for a couple of years, the numbers don't mean that much anymore. Of course, you're still grateful that people are tuning in and watching, but you can't really see if they really like it. Like you can see a video has some views and people seem to think it's kind of cool. But when we are actually playing live and playing or kind of recreating some of our biggest moments that we had on the internet in real life, and then you look up from the fretboard and look into the audience, and sometimes you have people jumping, other times you have people just smiling and really enjoying it. You really don't get that from making videos. It's literally impossible. I mean, people can spam smiley emojis in the comments, but of course it's definitely not the same. And that's really the main reason why at least I love to do it. I love the challenge of it. Like Charles mentioned, it is much harder to play live on the stage with a light shining in your face and you're sweating. Maybe you didn't sleep a lot and the sound isn't that great tonight. And it's never like the perfect setup that you have at home. So I love the challenge of it and trying to faithfully recreate what we do on the internet, because we don't want to be those kinds of people where you're like, oh, this doesn't really sound like what I see on the internet. So we want to be true to what we post. And it's a combination of it being really challenging, but also at the end of the day, extremely rewarding to interact with people in real life and having them say like, oh, I've been watching so many videos and I remember this video you did 3 years ago, and then you can't remember that video anymore. And like, wow, okay, people really watch that stuff. It's just a lot of fun. And also I've never been to Australia, so it gives us the chance to travel pretty much all across the world. We're doing China, South Korea, Australia on this leg, and it's going to be a really exciting one because I haven't been to any of those countries so far.
Yeah, so what excites you both most about coming down under to Australia? And you do, I got to mention the Omnific as well, Charles. They are absolutely unreal. You guys obviously know them as well. They've played over Europe a fair bit, so perfect combination for you guys to be doing this Aussie tour. So tell me a little bit about what excites you both most about getting down under.
I mean, playing with the Omnific is definitely a factor. That's definitely something I'm looking forward to. I did do a guest solo with them in Boston when they played a show in Boston. But other than that, I haven't played in real life with them. I've done a virtual collab. Um, but yeah, I'm looking forward to coming to Australia. I mean, I'm probably going to try a bit of surfing while I'm there, because I tried it once and I was absolutely terrible at it. I think I managed to stand up for like 2 seconds. I think that was my record. So, but I would like to try and beat that. Maybe I can get 5 seconds this time.
I'm terrible at surfing too, mate. No worry.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it should be great weather around that time, right? It's like early November.
Yeah, it's starting to warm up nicely by then. You're on the East Coast, you won't have a problem, I dare say. Sydney, Brisbane would be perfect for that.
Yeah. I want to see some kangaroos. That'd be
Yes.
good. I don't want to see any spiders. Not a huge fan of spiders.
You'll be right. We're fine. Everyone builds up the spiders. You get over here, it's not like we're battling spiders with flamethrowers and snakes. So you're going to be totally okay, dude.
Man, there's a spider on your face right now. No, I'm
No,
kidding.
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, but should be fun.
Yeah, and Bernth, you guys have a amazing chemistry as well from the very get-go, from the battles. You can see even on the when you were just communicating through online and doing what you're doing now. Was there a moment where it just kind of clicked with you guys and you're like, man, we need to do something bigger. We need to keep collabing. We need to push this a little bit further.
In my case, for sure, because Charles is the very first person I've ever worked with that takes all of this just extremely seriously, because in the music world, there are a lot of people, and that's not a bad thing. A lot of people that are just where it's a little bit hard to get them to follow a deadline, for example, or you're just working on a song and you're waiting for their parts, or you're trying to book a tour and it's a little bit hard to get some information out of them. So Charles was the very first person, and I've been a touring musician and a session musician for almost 15 years by now. And this was the very first time where I felt like, wow, okay, this actually works. And we are very responsive all the time, and we send back and forth parts. We finish the projects that we start. So it was a big revelation for me working with someone this professional. And it's really what you need in order to do more. So it wasn't like after the first collab we were like, oh, let's go on tour, let's form a band, or let's do it. It just kind of evolved naturally. And it evolved into something really cool for me now because it's not just business or making videos or anything. It's a real friendship for me. I hope it's not one-sided.
No, it's mutual. It's mutual.
And it's so good watching these different collabs. You managed to work with some amazing artists, both of you guys, including like Ola, England. You've done that RSI track recently, and it just goes on and on. And when you're bringing these kind of performance to a live setting, do you leave it open for a little bit of improv, or is there a set way when you do these live shows? Do you feed off each other a little bit back and forth?
Right now there's not too much improv. There's actually the challenges are the most improvised segment of the
Okay.
night. So like the picking challenge where Bernth just starts doing all of his crazy like alternate picking and modular picking and all this stuff. Um, so there, yeah, we improvise a little bit with those little segments. The song, we both write music that is very thought out
Yes.
in advance. We don't our music on Spotify, there's not really much improv going on. And that's kind of how it is with the live show too.
Yep.
I think we could experiment with some improv. I think it'd be cool to add some to, especially some of the funkier songs. I think it could be cool to have like a little extended jam type of thing. Um, and then, you never know what's going to happen. And that's kind of the fun of it. It might sound great. It might not sound so great, but sometimes it's fun to have everything not be 100% rehearsed and the same.
Yeah, I don't think you guys would have a problem making anything sound great. I could sit there. I've never been able to play too. I played a little bit of bass when I was younger and that, but I could watch you guys play for days, dude. The way you play is absolutely unreal. And Charles, you mastered everything from tapping to slap to melodic layering. How do you guys approach the live performances and the stage with the setup you guys have? Tell me a little bit about the touring rigs you're using and what setups you are using for the live shows.
It's pretty simplistic in both of our cases because we have to travel
Yeah.
quite a lot. I used to start out with when I was playing for kind of a famous pop act in my home country, and I had like two or three guitar techs. I had two huge pedal boards, one for acoustic and one for electric guitar, with I don't know how many pedals on there. And then one day before a sound check, one of the pedals wasn't working anymore, and it was a very stressful festival changeover. So you have to bend over and check every single cable and every single pedal because you don't really know what the problem is with that kind of setup. And I think that was my very last show playing with a very, very complicated setup with tons of pedals and different amps and all that. And I switched to a modular. So I used the camper for quite a while. And now for these shows, since we're flying a lot, there is no break from China to South Korea to Australia. So we will be, I don't know how many flights, a lot of flights in 1 month. So we need something that literally fits in a backpack. So I'm going to go with the quad cortex again. I think the same for Charles.
Yeah.
Yeah, with those it's pretty cool because like they really just fit in a backpack, and you could potentially use hundreds of amps if you wanted to, and um, it's great for the music that we play because, as Charles mentioned, we have some funkier songs, then there are some rock metal kind of songs, then there are some math rock modern sounding songs, and every song is a little bit different. And for me as a guitar player, that means I need kind of a different virtual amp for every single song. So it wouldn't really be possible to do what we're doing with a lot of shows where you have to fly somewhere to tell every single club, I need this amp and that amp and that amp and that amp and those pedals. So it feels like the
Yeah.
digital stuff is the only way to make that work nowadays, for me at least.
Exactly. And Charles and Bernth, you guys have taught a whole wave of bassists and guitarists coming through. I'm going to ask you first, Charles, what's one piece of advice you give to players trying to find their own sound?
Uh, I would say don't be afraid to just record and put your stuff out there immediately, because it might feel scary,
Yep.
but you're actually at a great phase. If you're unknown, that's actually a great phase where you can be really experimental, and not very many people are actually going to hear it, and initially. So you don't need to worry. You don't need to be scared about putting your stuff out there, because just the process of recording stuff, finishing the song, mixing, mastering, adding all the different instruments, uploading it to Spotify, YouTube, whatever, that's all great learning experience. And you'll get feedback, and all of that will help you figure out your sound. So just start early and keep going. Don't worry if it doesn't sound amazing at first. It almost certainly won't. That's how it was with me. And just get on it early and keep going, and you'll find your sound.
Exactly. That's some great advice. You're never going to get your sound if you're just sitting on the fence thinking about it. So jump in and get into it. Bernth, what's the biggest mistake you see players making when chasing speed or precision? And what's some advice you'd give to them?
Um, Actually, the same mistakes that I made not that long ago, because when I started my YouTube channel, it was basically out of the motivation to get better myself. And when I made those first couple of videos where I tried to play to the best of my abilities, I think 5 or 6 years ago, it was the first time I really saw myself play, because I filmed myself and I pulled the footage into video editing software. And that looks very different compared to what you're seeing when you're just looking down on your hands all the time. So that's the first time that I saw that my pick grip is really weird and my fingers are moving a lot. I didn't really see that because I was always just really focusing on playing and not really looking at what my fingers or hands are doing. So I think the biggest mistake is just those bad habits you develop over the years, because you never really think about how you're holding the pick or how your hands or fingers move. So the first thing, so everyone, I have a lot of people on Patreon that are learning from my videos and routines that I post every week. And pretty much the first thing I recommend for all of them is just to film their practice routine, because that's the first time you will kind of have the mental capacity to actually analyze what you're doing, because most people, including me, don't really have that when they're like working on something very hard where you have to focus. So that's a very easy kind of hack at the start, I would say.
Yeah, guys. And if you had to pick one track each that kind of captures your mindset heading into this tour, what would be a track you would pick off the ones you've done or your own solo material?
I would probably pick Bloodstream.
Oh no, I wanted to pick that one.
There we go. We got the same one. That's a killer one. That's perfect. That was like one of the first ones he's kind of done to collab together, wasn't it?
Yeah,
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 a really
Perfect.
special one.
it's a good one. Yeah.
Can I ask you guys quick couple of questions to round out on biggest influence on you guys as a bassist and guitarist growing up?
So for me, my biggest influence is Victor Wooten. He's the guy who made me decide to play bass in a more like melodic, solo-y way. Yeah.
I'm watching a bit of that footage too, dude, earlier on.
Oh yeah, that was a great moment. Really
Yeah.
cool.
Bernth for you, my friend.
Nice. For me, it was like Metallica was the reason why I started playing guitar, and I started because of James, because of the riffs, and then Kirk got me into my first guitar solos, which is where I got hooked. And then later on, when I was already studying at the Vienna Music Institute, it was Guthrie Govan, of course, who inspired me a lot, as with all guitar players, because he can just play any genre. Doesn't matter what he plays. It sounds like he's only playing jazz, or he's only focused on fusion, or only focused on rock, because he does everything so effortlessly. So that was a big inspiration later when I got deeper into guitar.
Um, Most underrated guitarist, bassist of all time,
Oh God,
besides you
Most
two.
un Hmm.
underrated. Who's
Do
underrated?
yeah. Oh God.
We
I want
stumped
to pick
you.
someone really good.
Yeah, I
Yes,
know. It's like that, isn't it?
I would pick, I feel like a band that people are not talking that much about anymore is Necrophagist. I don't know. It's
Yes.
a German.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
playing some Necrophagus the other day, dude. Actually, I was
Nice.
jumping into some old Necrophagus, dude.
I feel like it was the biggest thing in 2007 in the guitar community. And because they didn't follow up with any new material, people don't talk about them that much anymore. But that's a very underrated band that more young people should check out for sure when it comes to guitar stuff.
Oh, most definitely. Charles, we got you stumped, mate.
I mean, I would say, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, he's pretty rated, but you'll understand why I'm picking him. Jason Newsted.
Yep, nice.
Because yeah, he's a obviously very famous bassist, but I think he gets overlooked in this, the bigger picture of Metallica bassists. So yeah, I'm gonna go with him.
Yeah, damn straight. Good picks. Guys, massive thanks to you both. Two absolute powerhouses doing things with strings most of us could only dream of. Don't miss them live in Australia this October. Brisbane, Melbourne, and Sydney. They do have the incredible Omnific. This is the Escape the Internet tour. It's not just a gig, it's an experience. Get on, sell this sucker out, guys. Any last words, shout outs, thank yous, or anything else you'd like to add in?
No, I can't wait to see all the guys in Australia. It's gonna be amazing.
Absolutely. Thanks to anyone and to everyone who picked up a ticket already supporting the tour. And thanks to you as well for a really cool, awesome, energized interview. It was a lot of fun.
No worries. Thank you very much. Have an awesome day, guys. Catch you down under. Cheers.